Good morning. I hope I'm doing everything right here. I'm the only one in here in the station, and I'm doing this. Um, uh, anyway, I'm on my own here in the station and doing this all myself. Well, some of it anyway. The main part here, but Christian did part of it remote, but set up the stuff on the timer. But anyway, yeah, I'm here on my own, and it feels great just to be here doing this. One more, I guess, one more step toward. Uh, I just feel like I'm learning more about this all the time. Working the system here, the computer system, and in the studio and all that. And well, I've learned it a while ago, but getting it down, to where I can do this myself. And move that out of there. Just a quick recap, I guess. I just got back from vacation. Quick little, well, I say quick, but I was gone like six nights or whatever. I don't know, but it was phenomenal road trip. Um, one of my one of my followers on Instagram and now friend on Facebook, Allison Kolb. She lives down in Carson City, and she had bought and read my book. I think she bought it on Amazon Kindle, but anyway, she read my book, and she listens to my podcast every Sunday morning. And I don't know, anyway, I felt called to go down there and meet her, and she wanted to meet me too. So we met each other and ended up, I was staying in the hotel in town, and the next day met up, and uh, we met up, had sushi for lunch, and went to Virginia City for the day. I followed along with her and her girlfriend, and we hung out in Virginia City. And as a matter of fact, I'm wearing the shirt right now that I got at the Washoe Club. There in Virginia City. It's an awesome place. Just so cool. Sort of crowded in there, but trying to keep social distancing alive. And that it was just quite the experience there in Virginia City. It was awesome. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to go. And I don't know if you follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram. I almost put them together, Facegram. But anyway, if you follow me on social media, you may have seen the video I posted of like three or four couples dancing on the wooden boardwalk out in front of I think it's Bucket of Blood Saloon, which, come to find out, is aptly named so because back in the day, in the 1800s, the the owner, whoever was cleaning up at night after they closed, because of all the fights and everything, would be cleaning up buckets of blood off the floor, and so hence it got the name Buckets of Blood Saloon, or Bucket of Blood Saloon. At any rate, and they're in Virginia City. I wish I would have got it on my Strava. It would have been like half mile or mile anyway. But I think it was when I was running back to my car from the Washoe Club just to drop off my this T-shirt that I had bought there, and the speed limit's only 20 miles an hour on the main street there, but lots of people walking around, weaving in and out of cars, crossing the street, and in the middle of the block and everything. And it's like, tourist town. That's what's supposed to happen. Well, so anyway, there's a couple or a few, three or four cars driving down the street. And of course, they're going slow. And it was just so cool because here I am sprinting down the street to get back to my car. And I think I passed like two cars that were driving down the street, and uh, creeping up on a third one and got back to my car. So that was the end of that. But yeah, and just to see old churches, and didn't get to see the cemetery there, but and got to go to the Washoe Club. And while we were sitting in the Washoe Club, which the Washoe Club is famous and everything, and it's even been on episodes of Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures, and it's known as a haunted place. I'm trying to recall, but I forget the exact stories there at the moment. But while sitting in there, I was wearing, I was pretty sure I was wearing a tank top, and I did feel a chill, but and I looked around, and there was like mass people in there. So if anything, it would have been warmed up in there, and it didn't. When I walked out, it didn't seem to be much cooler outside. So I don't know, but yeah. At any rate, I don't know whether that's neither here nor there, but I walked in the back there at one time, and I got to see. I don't know if you follow me on social media, you might have seen the video, but I got to see the stand at the bottom anyway, the original spiral staircase of the building. That's like, at the time anyway, I don't know if it still is, but supposedly there's a sign there from Ripley's Believe It or Not saying that this is the longest spiral staircase, freestanding spiral staircase. And yeah, anyway, I thought that was super cool. But yeah, at any rate, just that my whole experience there was so cool. And to make new friends, meet people, it's just phenomenal. And then as I well, actually, yeah, I did get a bit of running in there in Carson City. And if you watched last week's episode of my podcast here, I was actually on location there in Carson City, in front of, I'm trying to recall, I think it was the Nevada State History Museum. Since Carson City is the Nevada State capital. And oh yeah, back up. They're at the Washoe Club. I know it's not, I know it's not Tombstone, Arizona, but while sitting in there in the Washoe Club, there was a few Wild West actors and actresses that wandered in from across the street where they have their reenactments, and which I didn't get to see while I was there, but I did, get to see these people coming in, and they're getting shots, getting drinks, what have you. And there was one of the guys. He walks in, and he's standing right by me, and he's friends with Allison. And anyway, he's standing there, and he's like, he's takes a shot, and he's like, "Yep, this is it. Welcome to the Wild West," or something like that. It's just hilarious. I wish I would have got it on video, but I don't know. It was just such a cool experience just to be there, and experience what I did experience while I was there. Didn't get to go on a ghost tour since they were all booked up. There was something going on in town, so had the town sort of busy at the moment. But at any rate, yeah, that's what I was going to say. In reference to Tombstone, the movie Tombstone, anyway, while I was sitting there, and here's these Wild West guys, actors coming in, and that one guy saying that about "Welcome to the Wild West, this is it," and all this going on. I was just waiting for Doc Holliday to come in, and say, "Hey, I'm your Huckleberry." But anyway, in reference to Tombstone, I thought that was sort of funny. And it's just like, driving through the, I don't know, yeah, and it's like I also, while I was there on Monday, this past Monday, while I was there in Carson City, um, I had a free day to myself, so I'm like, I went up to Reno and made sure to take a selfie in front of the Reno Arch downtown, which I should have gone the night before or that night anyway, so I could, with the lights on, so I could have got selfie with the lights on the sign. But at any rate, I'm grateful for what I did get to do, and I think I ran 2 miles downtown Reno, ran around Harrah's and a couple of the other casinos right in the middle of downtown, and got a selfie standing right in the middle of the road, during a non-busy moment, and got a selfie in front of that arch, and just taking advantage of being there. And when I was done there downtown Reno, I drove back through Carson City, well, on the freeway anyway, and went up to Lake Tahoe, and I paid for a full hour of kayaking, renting the kayak, but got out there and I noticed the time, and I'm like, well, I could go out a little further and then come back, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get back to where I need back to the shore there to return the kayak, so I'm just going to head back now. But at any rate, now I know for next time. But it's just like, wow, what an experience just to be able to go there and do that. And, my first time kayaking and on Lake Tahoe. Yeah, just so phenomenal. Living life to the fullest, I guess. But yeah, the next, and the next day, I just, well, both on my way down to Carson City from here in Tacoma, I made that all in one day, and then on my way back up, made it all in one day. My way back up, I stopped once for gas, and both times I just stopped once for gas in the middle. I stopped at Christmas Valley, Oregon for gas on the way back up, and then got back up to Washington, shot over to Ocean Shores. Phenomenal, I just running on the beach there, and then second day there, a couple friends had texted me the day before, boyfriend and girlfriend. They texted me, and they each texted me, sent me a message, and asked how the smoke was there, how the air quality was, and I'm like, I was driving through, from Tacoma, where it was smoky to begin with, driving all the way down there to Carson City, Nevada, 720 or 730 miles in the smoke, and it was like maybe a mile, maybe mile and a half visibility. Actually, there was a 2 mile visibility point out in the middle of, I think it was Oregon, Central Oregon. There was, most of the way it was a mile visibility. There was one spot there where it was 2 mile visibility, but other than that, it was just smoke. You couldn't see very far, just, and then I got back up here to Ocean. That was all the way down and all the way back. I got back to Ocean Shores, or I got to Ocean Shores here in Washington, and just, got out of my car. I couldn't smell smoke. Visibility was still iffy, about a mile, and got out to the beach, and, it's like, couldn't smell smoke. And of course, there at the beach, it's like misty and sort of foggy looking there at Ocean Shores all the time. And so it's like nothing new. And it was just like, but smelling that fresh ocean air, as opposed to smelling the smoke all the time, was just such a relief. So, and I just took all that in. I made sure to run. Definitely got my running in while I was there, running on the beach. The second day there, my two friends that had texted me asking me about the air quality. I was down at the jetty at the south end of Ocean Shores, and Larry sends me a message. I get this ding on my phone, so I'm like, I don't know who's messaging me. Oh, Larry, and he was letting me know that they were running on the beach up north, right near my hotel, right where I had gone on the beach before. Well, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm done here. I was just about to drive back to town, so I drove up to town, ran out on the beach to meet him, got to run with him for a little bit there on the beach. Then we spent the day to get the afternoon, couple hours anyway, in the afternoon together there, and went to lunch, took me to coffee. Yeah, it's just like hung out, exploring some of the shops in town. What a phenomenal experience the whole thing was. And it's like, that's how my life is. That's how my road trips are. That's how my vacations are. That's just how my whole life is, I guess. But yeah, at any rate, it's like on my way home from Ocean Shores, I stopped off. Happened to see this sign when I was at a stoplight in the middle of Aberdeen. Of course, Aberdeen, Washington, the home of Kurt Cobain, lead singer of Nirvana. But at any rate, I was at a stoplight there, looked off to my left, saw this sign for Nirvana coffee, come as you are, and on their logo, and it says now open. So I'm like, okay, I went around the block a few times looking for the place. It was right in front of me the whole time. Drove past it a couple times looking for it. And anyway, finally parked right in front of it and went inside, and yeah, I got a coffee for the road, and the girl in there, she gave me a Nirvana Coffee Company guitar pick, and just an awesome place with pictures of Nirvana and Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, different bands up on the wall. Old, like, I don't know, I'd never seen these pictures of Nirvana before. One picture of Dave Grohl. I think it might be a more modern picture, like from him being with the Foo Fighters. But yeah, that was just phenomenal being able to go in there and check all that stuff out. And yeah, wow. And now I wish I was still on vacation, but now it just feels phenomenal, and feels good, and I'm grateful just to be back home in Tacoma. Yeah, and back here at the station. I'd rather be on location in a far off place, who knows where, doing my podcast on my Facebook Live on my phone, but hey, I love it here at the studio. I've come to feel at home in the studio here at VT Radio Universal. So, but at any rate, I don't have a guest for today, obviously, but I just wanted to, the next section of the Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard, 9 declarations to claim your personal power. The next section of the book here is I'm just going to read this here, part of it anyway, since it is like 21 pages long. Not the whole thing today, that's for sure. Declaration 2. We shall reclaim our agenda. The day is always his who works with serenity and great aims. And that's a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Human nature steers us towards self-reliance and freedom. Nothing burns more fiercely in our soul than the desire to be ourselves and pursue our dreams. And so the great joys of life come in. Oh, and so the great joys of life, And so the great joys in life come when we are spontaneous and authentic each day while engaging in activities that we care about. And the great miseries of life come when too many days stack up where we are conforming and posing while doing things we have no passion for. In these truths, we find a unit for measuring how our freedom is being expressed or not expressed, our individual days. Did we spend today being ourselves, expressing our true voice and sincere feelings and innate power? Did we spend the vast majority of the day doing meaningful activities rather than being slave to distraction or useless endeavor? Life has a way of being easily torn from us day by day. We forget what we want and get distracted. We do what others tell us to do. We say yes to so many things that we end up with no time to do the things that matter to us. This is the reality of the masses. But freedom and greatness belong to those who master their day. They have an entirely different level of control over the agenda and direction of their life. Their days mean something to them because they know each day gathers force toward a particular destiny. It's as though they imagine themselves standing before their Creator at the end of their lives and having to answer His questions. Did you use the time I gifted you each day to be a purposeful being? Did you follow your own path and make your time count? How faithfully did you tend to the dream I sowed in your soul? It's as though they awoke each day knowing these questions would come. It's as though each morning they hurled a shining spear of purpose far into the fields of the future, and then made their mission to go pick it up and throw it once more forward. In their daily struggles to reach their goal, reach the goal, they were focused, unbending, diligent. If they ever felt lost, they had the presence of mind to stop and think, am I on the right path? Am I moving forward to what I desire? If they found themselves sidetracked in the valley of despair and distraction, they knew to lift their head, to climb to a high vantage point, to see where their journey was leading them, and if it was where they desired to go, to look for that shining spear and reorient themselves to it, to find once more the horizon line of their greater destiny. They carried on this way with stunning commitment. They had their own aim in life, and they woke each day loyal to that cause and ablaze with passion for it. They never let up, despite the struggle and hardship, always thrusting their intent into the distance, always seeking it, always finding a way over or through any obstacle until they ended up either in the land of their dreams or with the angels for having died trying. What they did not do was waste their days meandering about or marching under the banner of someone else's ambitions. Contrast their life agenda with the world's stragglers and complainers who are undirected, passionless, and afraid of work. They fail to cast their intention into the world, or if they do, they allow themselves to be distracted rather than follow their desires to the end. They fail to peer above their immediate tasks to see where were headed, preferring the illusory sense of progress at having checked off some trifling task. They are too fearful, or too lazy, or too pulled by the clatter of other people's demands to chase their own dream. They do not strive with real desire and discipline. They make excuse after excuse and tell story after story about why they cannot advance or scale the mountain. They feel no responsibility to fully activate their latent powers. They live unconsciously or in quiet denial, unable to face the truth that their own life agenda is strangely absent or insignificant. And so, the mark of greatness will never be seared into their soul because they did not stay true and faithful to themselves or their mission. We are one or the other, the striver with the spear of purpose or the distracted straggler with the excuse? Which will be our reality? Shall we allow ourselves to be directionless in life, ripped from any purpose by the demands of others and all the distractions of the world? Or shall we finally get serious about the fact that our days will become weeks, and weeks will become months, and months will become years, and decades, and a lifetime, either won or lost, joyful or regretful, purposeful or squandered? Let us make this day the day we take back our life's agenda from the grips of conformity and distraction. Let us have our aim in life and move toward it swiftly and diligently. Let us not forget that our simple efforts and daily triumphs can gather weight and motion to become an unstoppable force toward a focused and free life. We can design our life agendas so that our daily planner is no longer the object of resentment, but rather a thing of beauty, a stunning log of our enjoyment of life and progress toward freedom and transcendence. We can emancipate our schedules from meaningless tasks and in the process lift ourselves to higher standards and higher planes of joy and purpose. We can, through conscious design and vigilant protection of our time and agenda, take back our destiny and make each day artful and fulfilling. But to do so, we must take a long, unflinching look at our habit of giving ourselves and agendas over to others or to meaningless things. We have to say no more often. We have to focus more. We have to fight harder to safeguard our time and our dreams and our souls. Let us now get serious about our days and who we are becoming because of them. Let's get serious about the aim and enjoyment of a meaningful life. It is time to value the hour once more and refuse to give up our lives to the world's distractions and nonsense. It is time to make our way and get back our day. For this, we declare, we shall reclaim our agenda. Stripped from our path. Few would know or admit if they lacked command of their overall life agenda. How could we tell? What signs would indicate that we are off our unique path in life? There are stark realities and subtle hints. If there is a lack of true expression, enduring joy, vibrancy, and satisfaction in life, then clearly our agenda has been compromised. For who would plan a life marked with conformity, boredom, fatigue, and dissatisfaction? If there is a constant shirking of one's dreams out of fear of failure, a suffering sadness in everyday life, or a consistent lack of progress toward one's own clear path, then clearly we are not in charge of our daily emotions and direction. We can further ask, have I become so like others at work that I am not myself? Am I acting like someone else in order to please my parents or friends or lover? Do I believe things and behave in ways that are unexamined, causing me problems, or not a true part of my soul? Do I feel the people around me have no idea who I am or what I want? Did I follow other people without true reflection on what I wanted, and that's why I have this job, or study this topic, or engage in this hobby, or feel trapped in this way of life? That is it, the ultimate tell, feeling trapped. Should a person feel caged in any aspect of their life, it is an obvious reveal that they have not been owning their life agenda, but rather that they have been suffering the chains of conformity. They have been catering to everyone else, slave to the prevailing ideas or expectations of others, playing a game they never wanted to be a part of. The subtler sign is how we consistently feel about our lives. If we obtain everything we think we need, and every indication says life should be satisfying, yet something still feels off, then we know there is a problem. If someone asks, "How are you?" and we cannot feel a genuinely happy response immediately rise within us, what does that say? It says we are off our unique path in life. This is especially true if, contemplating the question seriously, we find ourselves replying with a mundane lie like, "Oh well, I guess I'm fine." Fine is the calling card of conformity. Things are merely fine in life when passion has been slowly bled from our veins. Things are fine when we are bored stiff. Things are fine when we've done what they told us to do and we're sick and tired of it. Things are fine when we have been marching to the beat of someone else's song for far too long. Things are fine when we are aching for more adventure, more passion, more intimacy, more creative expression, more contribution, more drive, more independence, more freedom, more life in our days. If we are merely fine, we are not alive. Should we not be amazing, excited, thrilled, fantastic, phenomenal, beyond grateful? Another subtle sign of trouble is that we feel regularly silent about things that matter to us. If we want something but we do not ask for it, this means we'll likely accept whatever we are told to do or whatever shows up on life's door. We must ask, does the world have a sense of who I am? Do my family and friends know who I am and what I truly desire from life? Do my peers and leaders know what I truly want to learn, to work toward, to contribute? If we answer with a no, then clearly we are not being ourselves or speaking up for ourselves. Such silence reveals fear of rejection or an unhealthy level of need to fit in or what they want for us. To what they want in. Such silence reveals fear of rejection or an unhealthy level of need to fit into what they want for us. In this conformist silence, there is nothingness, no sound of life, no pulsing and cracking and thunder of individuality. In such silence, the suffering settles in. Let us never forget that speaking up for ourselves and telling the world what we want and desire is a fundamental practice of a free life. The final clear indication that someone's life agenda is not their own is constant lack of focus. It is that terrible and never-ending distraction of the modern world that is stealing purpose and progress from our lives. It's becoming a defining hour of humanity, where we either take back our attention or risk becoming emotionally addicted to our technology, to devices that somehow, though they have neither soul nor intent, control us more than we control them. Humankind is fast becoming a slave to its own tools. Hours of the day seep away checking in, updating, and swiping. To what end? It's as if we are adrift in a digital stream we never consciously chose to wade into, and we are starting to drown. No sooner do we set out on a meaningful task than we feel compelled to look at something irrelevant. We barely make it through a single day without suffering browser blackout or app amnesia. We barely make it through a single day without suffering browser blackout or app amnesia, those long gaps in the day when we are lost in a long chain of clicks and swipes that steal our momentum and leave no trace of real purpose or accomplishment. Yet so many people look effective, so busy with so many tasks, tracking everything unimportant to infinite degrees. In this age of the quantified self, we measure how many hours we slept, how many steps we took, calories we burned, pages we viewed. We document our every personal move in photos and videos. guilty. Well, almost everyone. A lot anyway. Yet we document our every personal move in photos and videos. Yet we know nothing about ourselves. We spend more time checking our stats than our souls. We mine our life experience for data, but not depth. We have all these numbers to improve, but no idea how to dial back the numbness. As much as we check in, we are checking out of our own lives and becoming voyeuristic, peering gape-mouthed into the sordid details of other people's lives in order to feel connected or entertained. If we are to measure and monitor and improve anything, let it be our story, our character, and our conduct. A mindfulness of who we are and how we are experiencing and relating with the world. Reclaiming our life agenda is about asking, am I proud of who I am and the person I am becoming? Am I happy with what I am doing and contributing to the world? Have I felt grateful for this day and its opportunities? And have I directed myself purposefully so that I can live my highest truth and serve my highest good? Let us check in on ourselves in these ways, for in the end, these are the only measures that matter. Our defining moment will come as we either continue to slide into the oblivion of the deep digital stream, clicking and swiping and drowning in distraction, or take a higher vantage point apart from all the noise and finally, after all this time, choose to refocus on what really matters in life. Let us boldly ask what it says about ourselves if we cannot pull back from our addiction to digital distractions. For it is an addiction. We are no better off than the alcoholic who cannot avoid the bar or the gambler or the casino. Those with a compulsion to constantly check in have lives like this. They wake each day and their first act is to review the messages left by others, always terrified that they have missed something that someone else wanted on a whim just hours or minutes ago. Their second effort is to divide up their day based on what they should accomplish in pursuit of their, based not on what they should accomplish in pursuit of their dreams, but rather on the hours they must spend responding to the needs and requests of others. They reply with equal frenzy and devotion to one and all, to both influencers and idiots, their addiction to meet others' demands, making no distinction, giving no priority. All day they are busy accomplishing nothing but responding to everything. There is no vision, only reaction, a self-imposed terror that they are falling behind. Their aim in life, if we can call it that, is to get through it all, to catch up in a rat race that they should never have entered and will never win. This needn't be our fate should we have the courage to take back the responsibility of running our own lives and advancing once more toward meaningful goals every single day, no matter what. We must choose this day to finally be more intentional with what we want and what we shall deserve and what shall deserve our golden attention. Okay, I'll try and read this one. I'll get through this couple pages here. I was going to say and then open it up, but no one's here with me. So, clarity on what is meaningful. What will give us a sense that we are once more in command of our life's agenda? Clarity, direction, progress. We begin developing clarity about the current state of our life's agenda by realizing that all human experience is segmented into two fields, meaningful activities and non-meaningful activities. This forces a clear distinction when evaluating our days. Do I find what I am doing each day of my life meaningful? Is all this busy work in line with what I feel is my life's work? These are the questions of the self-determined. Such questions make us reevaluate everything. Every task, responsibility, and opportunity that is laid before us by the world must now be questioned as to whether or not it aligns with our goals, whether or not it enlivens us, whether or not it allows us to feel fulfilled. To those activities that come up short, we must be unblinking and once and for all release our belief that what. Let me start over. To those activities that come up short, we must be unblinking and once and for all release our belief that we must be doing them. There we go. Some will moan at this work. They will say, "But I do not like my answers. You do not understand. I have to do this terrible job. My workday is not my choice." To those who believe this, only time and maturity will help them uncover the truth. Work, just like our emotions, is ultimately a choice. Whether or not we wield that power is up to us. If we don't like the work we are doing, we have 3 choices: continue hating what we do, change our perspective and find meaning and joy in our current tasks, or quit the dispassionate work and seek out what will make our soul sing. One would hope everyone would, at some point, and as soon as responsibly possible, choose the last option. Do we have to quit every job we hate? No, surely we could stay in any job and succeed. Greatness can be cultivated in the soil of any experience, but we all know that the seeds of greatness grow faster in the hearts of those doing work they love than in the bitter hearts of those enslaved by work they despise. Some give their entire lives away to work they dislike because they never had the resolve to ask, "What if I were free and strong enough to go find something more engaging and fulfilling? What if the world isn't giving me what I want because, based on all my distractions and lack of discipline toward a goal, it's simply unclear what I am asking for?" In such bold questions, we unsettle ourselves and unleash a new kind of desire and strength within. I guess I'll stop reading there for this week. Yeah. Actually, I got a few minutes so I can get through this next section, just a couple more pages. This is I don't know, every part is just so gets me fired up. This whole book does, but yeah, this next section's the real cool one. Setting a direction, a written manifesto. We must go further. Beyond evaluating our current life experience and becoming clearer as to whether or not our days' efforts are meaningful to us, we must set a new and more proactive course for our lives. What will our mission be from this moment forward? What will be our plan of action? What steps must be taken? These questions are not a philosophical suggestion. We should sit down now with pen in hand and write out the focus and direction of our lives from now forward. Lacking our own declarations and directives in life, written down, reviewed, updated, lived from, we can only fall into the herd. We end up where they take us, where they want us, wherever the wind blows us, regardless of our hopes and intent. Such a life is not the one we want. What am I really after in life? What do I truly want to create and contribute? What kind of person do I want to show the world each day? What types of persons shall I love and enjoy life with? What great cause will keep me going when I feel weak or distracted? What shall be my ultimate legacy? What steps must I take to begin and sustain these efforts? What will I orient my days to accomplish this week, this month, this year? Yes, we must write these things down in what will be our own manifesto, our own written declaration of what our lives are to be about. Those who lack such a written document must stop fooling themselves and thinking they are in charge of their lives. For without such self-direction, we are but sad vessels captained by conformity. Intentions and occasional musings about life are insufficient for keeping anyone from conforming or losing their days to distraction. There is a reason nations write out and follow their declarations, constitutions, and laws. No matter how strong a society, no matter its intent or culture or popular will, without written directives, all is lost in the randomness of human behavior. That is why we must write, and that is why we must revisit our manifestos, and that is why we must act in alignment to the agenda we have set for ourselves. After all this writing is done, let us rise tomorrow and forge the day and week to begin moving toward and accomplishing these things. Let us fight for these things. Let us use the morning to remind ourselves what we are after and to write any specific goals for the day, dedicating time in that first golden hour to planning out our schedule. That precious first hour must not be squandered, for our evening's dreams can easily be forgotten in daylight. We must use the virgin morning to shape a schedule that is ours before the world shoves its corrupt needs in our direction. Yes, rise in the morning and write some more. Who will I be today? What dreams shall I chase? What will I create and accomplish no matter what? Who will I give value, love, or appreciation to? What will I do or experience that will help me feel fulfilled and grateful when I rest my head to pillow later tonight? This is called living intentionally and independently. This is how motivated persons live. This is manifesting a freer life. Everything else is wishing and hoping, a steady decline into mediocrity, the dead, boring drumbeat of the reactive and unconscious life. I'll stop right there for now. This got a couple minutes left. That brings to mind something I was thinking as I was reflecting on life in general, reflecting on my life, reflecting on my road trip, going on this road trip, my reason for the road trip. I felt like a few days off work anyway, which I, did take off, and I'm still off for, today and tomorrow. Well, today's my weekend, but tomorrow I took off work too. So, yeah, it's just like the purpose of life, what's life all about? What's it boiled down to? That's why I went on this road trip, just to refocus, get recentered, just to get a break from the dish pit at work, get some rest, as I've written in my book, and pretty much meaningful distracted work, meaningful unmeaning, it's not meaningful work. It's just, sure, it's, I love the people I work with, love the company I work for, but, it's like, sort of meaningless work. And like I've even written in my book, I want to get out of there, and go into being an author and speaker full time, and, go this route, like I'm doing now with this podcast, it's a step toward being a speaker, I guess. And it's like, was reading in regards to here at the end of what I read today out of the Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. Like he was saying, we should each write our own manifesto so that we have our dreams and our goals written out in black and white in front of us. And, we can wake up each day, look at that, and use that as our guide for the day, go by that. Don't go by, you know, oh, I got to do this so I can get that done to go along with, you know, the needs to live in, you know, this world, and I got to do this and that, like the world says, you know, everyone needs to. So, you know, I'm just going to go with that. You know, no, you know, it's like I'm working my way toward, and, you know, like I've seen other people do, and like, you know, it's just, I need to, you know, we need to get our manifesto or get our goals and dreams written out, you know, and go to move toward that. We have something to move toward. Let's move toward it. You know, everything else aside, and just go for it. And I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all I have for the show today. And you know, that's pretty much it. You know, figure out what's your dreams, what's your goals, what's your aspirations in life, what do you want out of life for your life, not necessarily, you know, living someone else's goals and everything for your life. What's yours? What do you want your life to be about? Go for that. Pick the people you want in your life. Go seek these people out, you know, and bring them into your circle, you know, bring them into your life. You know, it's like go find the things you want to do and do those in your life. You know, go to the places you want to go in your life. Yeah, but that's about it for today. That's my motivation and inspiration for the day, for the week, and that's it. I'll be back next Sunday, and as always, stay kind, optimistic, and grateful, and have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal week. And with that, I guess that's a wrap. All right, well, take care and peace. I'm out. Ciao.